Okay, you guys saw me build this deck, and then you saw me build the stairs. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put some railing on, but I also want to cover this space under here. So I'm going to put some decking on, just all these little cutoff boards that I have. I'm going to put them on here, and I'm going to use a 2x4 at the bottom, kind of as a trim piece. And that's what I'm going to use to cover this up. So for the skirting underneath, I'm going to check what I got here. I'll hook onto that piece. And I want to go all the way to here. Under here. And then I think I'll notch this decking out. I'm on a bit of an angle, so I'm going to want to take a little bit off. Let's just make it 70 and a half. 70 and a half for this whole thing. And then the 2x4 is going to butt in here on the bottom. Then you'll have the deck pieces going up, and then I'll do a 2x4 trim on the bottom and side. So I'm going to do this like this. I'm going to put the decking under here, and then with the trim here, although that trim piece will be like here, and then it'll have a 2x4 on the bottom like that. So it'll be like that, but it'll be over here. I'm going to have to notch out a bit of this decking because of this, but I'll do it like that all the way to there. I made it 19 inches from here to here, just to leave it up a little bit off the ground. Now I have my 2x4 cut at 70 and a half for the bottom. I'm gonna use this as my face piece. So these pieces are gonna go on the back like that, and then they're gonna tuck up under that 2x6 there. So it's gonna give it a 2x4 trim on the bottom and a 2x6 trim on the top. So I'll start screwing them onto the bottom like this. This piece is only here to balance it out so that they're not just sitting like this. I can put them all tight like this, and then I can screw them all here. I'm going to make sure I'm flush on the bottom here and then flush on the end here, and then I'm just going to use my quick drive because I don't want to hold every screw. And then I just want to make sure I'm square here. So I'll take my big square. See, this still moves a little bit. I'm going to make sure I'm nice and square. Hold it right there and put a couple more screws. Just going to hold this thing square. And then I'll just screw all these two. Make sure they're flush on the bottom and then tight to the next board. Flip that over this way, you got the 2x4 trim on the bottom, and then it's gonna tuck up under that 2x6 trim on top. So I'm also gonna put this 2x4 trim on the back here. Same thing. I don't want to see my screws, so I'll screw it this way. Now I want this piece to fit up underneath here, but I have a block from here, so I have to notch this up. Let's go all the way to 4 inches. We'll notch this out 4 inches, and then I'll have to notch it all the way down to here, and then it can stick up this way. As long as I got room to slide it in through here. and it could be tight. I'm gonna have to do the same notch over here. I'll at least have to notch this part up. And this same, we'll go 5 3/4 down. So I'll have to notch that out and notch that out. It's gonna tuck up under here. If I can get it. But see, now it's a little hard to grab from here. So I'll show you a little trick to make it easier. Just take a screw, one of these long deck screws. That's gonna give you a hand. And then we want it right up under here. So get my screw started. And then we'll just pull that out. This piece is gonna go under here, but maybe we'll tuck this deck board in there first. So this piece is gonna go in here like this. So I want to measure in my last piece here. It's gonna be, it's about 4 3/4, but let's go 4 1/2, just to leave a little space. I can rip the whole thing down to 4 1/2. And then from here to here, 9 5/8. And this 2x4 is 3 1/2, so 3 1/2. You need 9 5/8 from there. That's gonna be to the bottom side of this. So we're not gonna cut all of that off. We're gonna leave on whatever we can, which is only 3/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna only go about 5/8. It's almost not even worth going this, but whatever. We'll tuck that up under there, and that should follow that. Although that 5/8 can only go up the width of the deck, so we'll cut that off about there. So we'll cut all of this. And now we'll put that in here. So now I'm going to screw this through here. Hold it up tight. And then this piece I'll use the same trick to hold that up tight. Now I'll put another 2x4 on there like that. So for this railing, I'm going to put these spindles on here like this, flush to the bottom of this 2x6. For the end pieces, I'm going to use a 2x4, keep it a little stronger. Put a 2x4 there, and another one here. So I want the whole width of the railing to be 71 inches. So I'll cut two 2x4s at 71. So these two 2x4s are going to be my railing. It's going to go like that, and then the spindles will tuck up underneath here like this, and that's going to be the top. So I'll screw these two together like that. Start with my 2x4 right here, flush with the bottom. This 2x4 is the same length as the spindles. I'll put this other one on here. Just start some screws first. I'll take this part. There's the railing and the skirt on the bottom. I might eventually put another railing here for these steps. If you want to see how I do that, leave me a comment. But for now, it's time for a beer.